Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda.
We're the Newcomers, coming to you from the beautiful villages in Central Florida.
That's right.
If you don't know who we are, we're retirees. How long have we been retired?
Well, since 2011. You do the math.
It is mind-boggling. It is hard to believe. In Indiana, teachers can retire when you're 55 and you reach the rule of 85. So you have to be 55 with 30 years of experience or any combination.
Right.
And that's what we did. The rest is history.
We jumped on that.
We didn't come to Florida until we were 62.
Yeah.
And it worked out perfect for us. I wouldn't change a thing. A lot of people say they wish they come earlier.
Yeah.
55 is a good age to get down here. You're active, you can do some things, and
Well,
we've had a ball.
We weren't here at 55.
That's right. We didn't come at 55 because we'd never heard of the villages till we were 62. And that's when we came down. It's at age 62.
Yeah.
We've been here 6 years and 3 months now, right?
Yeah.
And we're having a ball. It's the world's largest retirement community.
It's the universe.
It's the largest retirement community in the known universe. And it's a golf cart community. We have a ball. And
Friendly.
yeah, that's a big topic of debate because when somebody hears about somebody that's not super friendly, they make a big issue of it. World's friendliest town, Florida's friendliest hometown, friendliest town in America, phooey. But I don't think you'll ever find a better mix of people than we have found here.
Yeah.
In fact, the newspaper did a story this week about the different people that live in the villages, and they showed a lot of different occupations and things, and you get a great mix of people, and we just love it. So that's what we're doing, and we take questions on Monday, and that's why we call it Mailbag Monday, and we have some for you today. On today's show, bikers own the road, the real scoop on the prison,
And will the new Walmart cause traffic problems?
bubble wrap.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. Are you tired with wrestling with a vacuum cleaner cord? Coming up on this week's Bubble Wrap, I have a possible alternative.
All that and more.
Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
Hey, thanks for tuning in on Wednesday night. We had a fun show on Wednesday nights, and if you don't know it, we try, if our schedule allows it, to do a live show from 7 to 8 p.m., and we give away prizes, and we give you some fun quizzes, and we talk to people on the phone, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This coming Wednesday, we're going to have Sheriff Dodge from the Sumter County Sheriff's Department on the show, and he's going to talk to us about anything you want regarding law in the villages. Now, Sumter County does not make up all of the villages. There are 3 different counties, Marion, Lake, and Sumter. Sumter's the largest part, and Sergeant Dodge is going to talk to us about things pertaining to our neighborhood.
I know what's happening tonight. You all need to take part in the boat line at Sumter Lake is going to be opening up. They're getting ready to start the new cruises for $3 a person.
Oh, it's going back up at Sumter Lake?
It sure is. Yeah.
So, sometimes some people refer to that as Lake Sumter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Carol and Jack from Michigan are renting here in the villages, and they came across this guy. Look at this. In 6 years, I have never seen an alligator walking across like that.
No, I haven't either.
Some people get lucky and see them, but not me. And we want to warn you that if you do see alligators, it's mating season, so stay far back. And we have not personally known anybody that's been attacked by an alligator. There was a fellow over in Pembroke that lost a hand when he was fishing, but it's always best just to remember they're wild animals.
Yeah.
They're dinosaurs, in fact.
Yeah.
So stay away from the alligators and give them the respect they deserve.
Yeah, I think the males are on the hunt, and they, they're a little bit more aggressive at this time of year in April and May, and so just stay back and let them do their thing.
Are we going to have to quit kayaking out in the fishing waters?
I think so. Yes, no more.
She used to go with me. She won't go with me anymore.
She'll
You know, the fish, it's a fishing paradise, Florida. But they've got alligators.
Yeah.
Indiana, it's hard to catch a 5-pound bass.
Yeah.
But there's no alligators, so she would go. But anyway, I guess I'm an ex-fisherman.
No, you can still fish. You belong to that fishing club, you know. What's going on?
Time out. Oh, well, who was that?
Oh, another knock on the door during our show. That would be our 13th or 14th landscaper that wants business because we have a dead palm tree out front. You know what? I'm going to know everybody's name. Going up and down
Yeah,
the street.
we already have it scheduled to be taken out. It's a nasty looking thing right now.
Sorry about that, neighbors.
If our guy is watching this, hey, you know, sooner the better.
Come on down.
We don't have room for any more business cards. Well, we went to the Big Top. We went to see a wonderful show. What did we go see?
Okay, I knew you were going to ask me that. Mr. I don't know.
Who was it? People want to know. It's here till April 6th.
My goodness sakes. I want to say Mr. Peculiar, but that's not it.
No.
It starts with an S.
Mr. Swindle's Traveling Peculiarium.
Yes, they need to change that name for me because I just can't get it.
Well, we went on opening night, which
was
was March 27th, and it's a round top, and they've got seats inside. It's not a big venue. I don't know, I'm guessing 200 people
Yeah.
inside. And what a show. It was the most entertaining. I loved it. In fact, take a look at this trailer that I put on Facebook just to kind of promote it for these people. That's it, and that's what you'll see, that kind of stuff. There are more thrills and chills and surprises that we didn't want to give away, but it's there through April 6th. But remember, it's a little bit...
It's a little risque.
Little bit risque.
It's not X-rated. It's
not X-rated, but
R,
it's...
maybe not even R.
It's R-rated for sure.
It was funny though. I laughed and laughed and laughed.
I may go back and see it again. I may go back, but we'll put a link in the description for you.
Fun night, you guys.
Chance and Margie Jones from Charleston, South Carolina wrote this. My wife and I want to ride bikes when we get there. Is it safe? I know it's pretty flat. Do you ride in the streets? Okay. This is also a topic of contention here in the villages.
Can I answer something?
Yeah.
Definitely ride in the streets or sidewalks. Don't ride in the yards.
That's it. Yeah, that puts it into that. But cars don't like to be held up by bicyclists. And bicyclists claim to have every right to the road, which I guess they do. But here's a situation I encountered just the other day. I'm driving, and they have the entire lane blocked on Morse Boulevard. Now, you can't, Morse Boulevard people go 40 miles an hour on Morse Boulevard, whether they should or not.
Yeah.
They go 50 on Morse Boulevard, and here they had the whole lane blocked.
And they're
So
not
I was
supposed
going to
to do
go
that.
around, and look, that one fella zipped over in the left lane, so block that lane too. So that's why people don't like bicyclists on the road, because it holds them up. Anyway, they have every right to be there, just we got to figure out how to coexist.
That's right.
And as far as in the other neighborhoods, you got it made in the shade, just to Take your time, wear your helmet.
Yeah.
Get a mirror. A lot of people ride without a mirror. You've got to have a mirror, because how are you going to know when you can turn when the car's not coming?
Yes, absolutely.
Get a mirror, have a bell, and you'll do all right. We love it.
But believe me, there are many bicyclists here.
Yeah.
I mean, many, from all ages. I mean, you will see people in their 70s and 80s on the bike, maybe more. But you've got to be aware at all times.
Hey, we're getting a new Walmart.
Yay! We're excited.
Yeah, it's going to be on the corner of Morse Boulevard, the road I just showed you with the bicyclist, and County Road 44. But the problem is, check this out. This is the traffic yesterday. I was sitting in that line, and I had to sit there through 3 light changes. And it took me about 10 minutes to get through that. After the Walmart comes, holy cow, what's that going to do to that situation? It's going to be within a few hundred yards of that light.
That light.
Yeah. I know they did a study on it. They're doing it right now, a study on the effects on traffic.
Yeah.
They should have done it before they okayed the Walmart.
And they've already broken ground. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're already building it.
They're building.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll like to have the Walmart. We hope that they get the traffic thing worked out, but I
Yeah.
don't see how they will.
Yeah.
I really don't. Speaking of traffic, we had a letter from Linda.
Me?
There's a lot of Lindas that were born in the
There are a lot of
1950s
Lindas
and
out
early
there.
60s.
Unite.
And she says, I'm scared of all those traffic circles. We saw them during our lifestyle visit, and I'm afraid of them. How do you ever learn to negotiate that? It is tricky.
It is.
But once you learn, they will by far be your favorite over those traffic lights that I told you about. Yeah. You know, there's no waiting long at a roundabout. I mean, cars merge as they get a chance. The situation, though, Linda, is you have to be respectful 100% to the cars that are already in the roundabout. You can't impede them in any way. And once you're in the roundabout, never stop. Keep going and then make your exit. Don't turn in front of other cars. If you're going to turn right, make sure you're in the right lane of that roundabout. Mm-hmm. And they're not that difficult. You'll get used to them, and I really like them. The Lake County Sheriff's Office has this. I just pulled a clip off the computer, off the internet, and it will show you a little bit about how you negotiate, give you some clues and tips. I think the best advice is don't let another car be right next to you in a roundabout, because you don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, and there's also signs right on the road, and it shows you where you're supposed to go. If you're going straight, it'll show you which lane to be in. If you're going to turn, it shows you that also. So be aware of those signs, but you'll get it.
Yeah, it can be intimidating, but once you learn it, you'll prefer them over
That's
stoplights for sure. A few weeks ago, we talked about the prison, and someone had asked about, basically said their real estate agent did not mention that there was a prison down south. And we told them that we didn't think the prison was any problem, but we said, if anybody has something to add or you want to talk to us about the prison, go for it. So we did get a couple of comments regarding the prison. I'd like to read those to you. This one's from Walt. Walt says, we live across from prison in Well Point. The prison is quiet, but we can hear announcements depending upon the wind. It looks like a giant football stadium at night with all the lights. And yes, you can see the guard tower standing above the treetops. Well, that's from Well Point, so they can see it. They can see some lights. And, you know, with the wind thing, we used to live 4 miles from the football stadium where we lived. And when the wind's blowing just right, from that far away, you could hear the marching band playing. You could hear announcements.
Yeah.
So that's going to happen. And we also had this comment from C.K. Murphy. C.K. says, you can hear announcements and you can see the lights all night, kind of like near a stadium or a large mall just beyond the trees. The prison is a factor to consider, especially in Well Point and Oak Hollow and whatever is south of that. So there you go. And we would encourage anybody else that has a pro or con, write us a letter to villagesnewcomers@gmail.com, and we will check it out. And if it's pertinent, we'll post it on the show.
It's time for Ask Amy.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. I wanted to answer the question of what happens when I die. What should be the first thing that my family or loved one does? I know this is a morbid topic, but they really need to know if you're going to be buried or you're going to be cremated and what company, if you have prearranged, they need to contact. The second thing is they need to contact your estate planning attorney. Obviously, if it's Pittman Law Office, we're going to be able to help them, but we cannot really do anything regarding your administration without your death certificate. Now, when your family calls us to let us know you passed away, we're going to give them some tips, that can kind of help them in the meantime while they wait for the death certificate. But that death certificate is key. And if you're one of our clients, you know that we highly recommend that you prearrange for your funeral or your cremation. So that's the first thing they need to do, is they need to make sure that they contact a funeral home, cremation society, so they can get the process started so that we can obtain a death certificate, so then your loved ones can get access to your trust assets, or if we have to open a probate. Hope that helps.
Thank you, Amy. Amy and Audra always have good information for us, and that's something a lot of people don't want to think about.
Right.
Thank you, Amy. And folks, we bring them to you every week or two, and we appreciate the folks at Pittman Law Office for doing that for us. On this week's Bubble Wrap, Peter shows us how a household chore can be a little bit easier by getting rid of the cord.
Hi, Jerry and Linda. Full admission, for years I used a corded vacuum to vacuum my house. I've since made a transition. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say it's not powerful enough to do your carpets, it doesn't last long enough. Well, I've tried 2 of them now, and I'm using it at my house right here in the Villages, and I'm very satisfied.
It's a chore nobody adores, but vacuuming your house is a necessity. Carpets are notorious for collecting hair, dirt, and pet dander. Keeping them clean makes your entire house smell better and gives you a feeling of living in a better environment. I vacuum once a week, but I'm sure there are others out there who do it more than that. This cordless vacuum really does the trick for us. I use it on my area rugs, my tile floors, and even in the lanai. But here's a tip. Make sure your floors are dry. I ruined our last cordless vacuum by sucking up small amounts of water in the lanai. Bad idea. I burned out the motor. I know there are many who swear by their old Hoover, Dyson, Shark, Eureka, and many still have that trusty old Kirby. I understand, but for me, bagless is the way to go.
Let's take a look at what this thing picked up. There's a little canister that is removable, and come over here, you can see I'm going to hit a little button there, and out comes the gunk that I just picked up. Now, full disclosure here, I have 2 cats, so there's lots of cat hair.
You might even call this a disposable vacuum cleaner. It's cheap enough to replace every 3 to 4 years. But I like the features on board. You get a constant battery readout, and you can increase or decrease the suction on the fly. That's helpful for deeper pile carpet. I recharge on my closet wall, but a full charge is enough to do my entire house. If you live in a patio villa here in the Villages or something similar, you are golden.
There are several brands, several styles, and you can get it at a lot of places, including Lowe's. I'm Peter Bernard, and that's this week's Bubble Wrap.
Yes, the cordless vacuum takes a little bit of time to recharge, though.
Yeah, it does. And the one that he showed you there cost a little bit over $100. Thank you, Peter. Always great information.
It's time for Pet of the Week.
How about that? You got a double pet of the week this time. We didn't have any narration. I thought about putting some in there, but it just wouldn't be right. But
Like
how about those?
speech bubbles or something?
Oh yeah, but how about those beautiful horses? I love a horse and some ponies, I think.
Yeah.
And of course, a dog tried to get in the action there. We used to have horses, and my father had a border collie that would love to get out there, and Gizmo would love to get out there and run around those horses' feet. And
I think not only that, he also had a goat. We had a goat, a
And a
dog,
billy goat.
and, yeah, all kinds of animals chasing
yeah.
the horse.
And the Dachshund Club, wasn't that cute?
Aww.
They have their annual festival for dachshunds there. So thank you for sending those in. Remember, folks, when you do a pet of the week, please do it in landscape form and give us a narration and tell us why that pet is special, how much it means to you, where you got it, how much it cost, where it goes to the bathroom. Tell us if you pick it up or not. All kinds of fun stuff in a 1 minute or so video. And people love it. And we'd love to see your pet.
Yes.
Catherine writes, is it only homes in the villages that have a bond or homes in the whole state of Florida? Well, you're right. The homes in the villages do have a bond. And that is a basic prediction of how much each homeowner will have to pay to facilitate all the beautiful infrastructure around the homes. Whether it goes on everywhere in Florida, no, it doesn't go on everywhere in Florida. But it may go on somewhere else, and we wouldn't know that. So it could be somewhere else in Florida, some other development that has to pay for infrastructure. But no, our son, for example, lives in one that has no bond.
Yeah.
And we know other folks that live in developments that don't have a bond. So the answer would be nope, it's not all over Florida, but it could be other places. We just don't know.
This next question is from a Kentucky girl in Tennessee. I am 59, looking for a place to retire. I'm a non-drinker, and I was just wanting to know if they serve non-alcoholic drinks at the bars at the squares. I'm a fan of your show. Haven't missed one. Thank
Kentucky
you.
girl in Tennessee. Thanks. You're a frequent viewer, and we know that. And thank you for the question, because we're non-drinkers as well. They are very strict in the squares. You cannot bring your own beverages. If you try to go in there with a cooler full of water, they will make you take that cooler away. Even if it's only water, they'll make you take it because they don't believe it. They think you've got what is
something
it?
else in there.
Vodka in that.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
But she's asking about non-alcoholic drinks. We're not sure, because I really have not gone up to the bar. I really should go up there and say, do you have a non-alcoholic drink? I'm sure they do.
I'm sure they do. Also,
Yeah.
I think they've got to have water for people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are bars at every one of the squares,
That's right. And there's City Fire. There's a lot of restaurants around that have bars right there out in the open on the patios and stuff. So I imagine you can get a non-alcoholic drink.
Sure,
and
because it's Florida. I mean, you need to hydrate.
you have to hydrate.
Gotta
And
hydrate.
And I tasted one of those on one of our cruises, and they are delicious.
What's that? A mocktail?
Yeah, something, it was a non-alcoholic, whatever, strawberry daiquiri or something. I don't know what it was, but it was delicious.
Yeah. Give me
So-
I'll drink water if I have to.
Yeah.
I would prefer a Pepsi Zero or a Sunkist Zero or orange juice.
I'm sure you can get Cokes
Or
and
milk.
all kinds of stuff there. I'm sure you can. It's time for Out and About, Jerry. Do we have an Out and About?
We do, and it's one of the best ever.
Aw.
Our Out and About was at First Watch in Lady Lake in the northern part of the Villages. They do have several locations, and the one we normally frequent is in Wildwood. The food is consistent between the locations, so I don't think it matters which one you go to. They are open 7 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., featuring a breakfast and lunch menu. Much like Jerry, I love to eat healthy, and I'm always on a quest to find delicious food that is good for your body. What we found here is the next best thing to Jerry's Spam. The interior is a bright and airy atmosphere, providing a fresh and inviting feel, and the seats are cushy and comfortable. They feature a mural reflective of the area they're in this case, the Villages. The breakfast menu includes standard fare plus healthier options like oatmeal and superfood bowls, plus lemon ricotta pancakes and Belgian waffles. You'll also find omelets, frittatas, bacon, Floridian toast, and many other choices. For lunch, you'll find traditional fare and specialty items, sandwiches, soups, salads, and turkey burgers. I ordered a pineapple express to drink. It's a deliciously refreshing and healthy drink with pineapple, orange, coconut water, lime, and agave with a mint crystal rim. My husband had a ham and Gruyere melt that had smoked ham, tomato, and melted Gruyere cheese with Dijonnaise on a grilled artisan brioche. It came with a choice of dressed greens or soup. He chose the broccoli cheddar soup. I had the Monterey Club with turkey, bacon, avocado, mixed greens, tomato, Monterey Jack cheese, and mayo on sourdough with a side of tomato basil soup. Our bill came to $35.49 plus tip. The sandwiches with soup were just $13.79 each, and my fresh squeezed pineapple express was $5.59. We just ate at First Watch. What did you think?
Oh, it was delicious. I had a ham sandwich and a broccoli cheddar soup. Very good.
How would you rate the value to the experience?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say about an 8.5.
All right. You'd recommend
Delicious
it?
and nutritious.
We enjoyed the food here. We recommend it, and we'll definitely be going back again.
Thank you. What a great job. Hey, Donna, feel free to do an out and about anytime you like. In fact, I think you make us look bad. So great job on that.
Go
And
for
you
it.
other folks, don't be shy.
Yeah.
Get out there and do it. If you go somewhere and you see you're going to be eating at a place that you've got time to film, I know it's not film. Shoot the outside of the building, get the lobby, go in, show the restaurant, shoot the bar if they have a bar, the server, show your food, talk about it, show us your bill, and people would appreciate that. Maybe you could introduce a new place that people go eat.
I think that'd be awesome.
Time for the word jumble. Now, last week we gave you one, and the clue was hopefully better than ever. The answer, and this was in honor of our friend Mike, knee replacement. Today, if A and B are not enough, you might need this. Now remember, if you know the answer, don't put it in the comments. Just let us know in your comments that you know what it is, because people read those comments. So do that for us. We'd appreciate it. Hope you have fun with that. We like to do it for you. And while you're there and while you're listening, you see that little square right there that says subscribe? If you are not subscribed, and by the way, I might have thought of something here.
All right.
If you're not subscribed, hit that, and you will be subscribed to our channel, and then you'll get notices when we put out new stuff. If you like our stuff, hit it. Like, hit it, Wally. Wally, if you hit it,
Hit the button. Hit the button. Well, I gotta put on my glasses because I've written down some notes. It's time for entertainment, and oh my goodness, we love the Villages because of all the entertainment and all the things you can go to and see. At the Savannah Center this week, starting April 1st, is Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 musical. On April 4th, the Masters of Film Scores. And April 5th, Simply Tina Turner. And April 6th, Beginnings, the ultimate Chicago tribute. You know, I went to see last week
Leonard
Prince, and that was Chicago music. And oh my gosh, I came home and I had to put on Alexa
She did.
playing music. Oh, I loved it. And at the at the Sharon is Change the World too, on April 4th. And going on at the Studio Theater is Qualia. And I'd like to also mention this week in the paper, they were announcing if you are talented, you may want to go to sign up to be in a play. There are many chances to do that. You can go and audition to be in 4 different places. You can go to New York City, and that's on April 8th, Chicago, and that's April 10th through 12th, Orlando, May 3rd and 4th, and at the Villages, and that is at the Sharon on May 11th. And you may want to be in these plays, so take advantage because they're opening up all of this for people around our villages and just to go in and enjoy and be in a play. Awesome.
I can do this. Like
That's very talented, Jerry. No, I think they're reaching out for local talent, and that's very talented. Stop it.
Time for sweet and salty.
I think I'm going first, Jerry. I'm going
Okay.
to do salty.
All right.
Okay. Hello, I know you have golf courses entitled Champion Golf Course. What championship tournaments are played there? Or is this like the fake gates and the fake buildings? That's from Dawn.
That's from Don, but up here it says Daniel. I don't know. Well, first of all, a championship course is like our designer home. It's just a regular home. Championship course just designates it's not an executive course. An executive sounds like, hey, that's pretty executive. But that's just a 9-hole course usually.
Yeah.
So that's what, and it's usually mostly par 3s. The championship course just lets you know that it's an 18-hole course. And Daniel, Don, I don't know, maybe you just wanted to get on the salty because you're obviously poking fun of the villages there. Fake gates, they are gates. They are not fake. And the fake buildings, that's just like Disney. You know that Eiffel Tower is not really the Eiffel Tower, and they have a lot of fun with that.
And now for the sweet.
Yeah, now this lady, she knows more about what she's talking about than Dan.
Dawn.
This is Susan for Jerry. Have you ever thought of running for governor? At 90 years old, I know a good man when I see one.
Wow.
Oh, thank you, Susan. I've really never thought about being governor. I don't think it's in me because I like to answer questions yes or no. I don't like to dance around, giving you double talk and not answering the questions. That's why I say, do something even if it's wrong. I'll answer your question. That's so nice that you have that confidence in me.
Yeah. You kind of look like somebody else I know.
Who's that?
President Trump. You do look like him right there.
I appreciate your confidence in me, and it's sweet. And you know what? You might be 90 years old, but you're a wise person. And now it's time for shout-outs.
And now it's time for Jerry and Linda's shout-outs.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching our show. Some of you send in pictures, and I love that. And by the way, we need your viewer videos. So send those viewer videos in. You can ask your question on video. Then we can see who are these people that we've been dealing with. And we love that. So please send those in. Thank you all. We enjoy you so much. This past weekend, we met so many people, and it was nice. And we look forward to putting a face with those names that we've been seeing.
That's right. If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with all your friends, neighbors, relatives, and everybody you know. Until next time.
Vote for me. See you when you get here. Why am my eyes watering?
Oh dear, you have to edit that, Jerry. Sorry. Yeah, it's important.
You sure it's important?
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, stop. Let me stop and start it, Jerry. Sorry.
You can't see her kicking me under this table. I've got to edit this mess.
That's not my problem.
Through 3 lane changes. It took me... What?
You said 3 lane changes again.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes. Blooper. Oh. 3 light changes.
Huh?
Start that again.
Why?
You said 3 lane changes. Should be 3 light changes.
Oh, I thought it said light changes.
You said lane.
Lane? Why would I say that?
I don't know.
Okay. I hated all that.
That's
Oh.
St. Augustine.
I hate the smell of Clorox. It's pungent.
It Stephanie. Oh my gosh,
We made too many bloopers.
oh my gosh, my thing was a horrible mess.
Was it significant? Was it significant?
No, it wasn't significant.